I Am Sorry, My Husband, an African folklore story. In the heart of the vibrant village of Frabiaco, where the sun kissed the earth and the oranges glowed like golden treasures, lived a young maiden named Immaculata. She was the most beautiful damsel in the land, with a radiance that could outshine the morning sun. But beauty alone does not determine one's fate, for Immaculata came from a humble background. Her father had passed away when she was just a child, and her mother had single-handedly raised her with love and sacrifice. One fateful day, while Immaculata was selling oranges in the bustling village market, her beauty caught the eye of the village prince. He was captivated by her grace and charm. The prince approached her, asked her name, and bought all her oranges. Over time, his affection for her grew, and soon the village was abuzz with gossip about the prince's love for a poor maiden. But the prince was determined to prove that love knows no bounds. He completed the marital rites, and the traditional marriage ceremony was set. However, not everyone was pleased with this union. 3 young village ruffians, driven by envy and malice, conspired to ruin Immaculata's happiness. On the eve of the marriage carnival, they sent 2 of Immaculata's friends to lure her out of her home. As she walked with them, the 3 ruffians ambushed her, dragging her into the nearby bush. 2 held her down while the 3rd attempted to assault her. But fate had other plans. A village hunter named Edmund, returning from his evening hunt, heard Immaculata's desperate cries. Armed with his gun, he rushed to the scene. Startled, the ruffians fled, but Edmund recognized them. He helped Immaculata to her feet, and she sobbed as she picked up her torn clothes. Before she could reach home, the news of the attack had spread like wildfire. The village crier announced the annulment of the marriage, as tradition dictated, that a defiled woman was unworthy to be a prince's wife. Immaculata's pleas fell on deaf ears, and she wept all night. The next morning, Edmund stood at the king's gate, determined to reveal the truth. After the king finished his breakfast, he called Edmund in. Edmund recounted the events, explaining that the ruffians had not succeeded in their heinous act. He named the culprits, and the palace erupted in shock and remorse. The prince, devastated by the hasty decision, pleaded to see Immaculata. The 3 ruffians and their female collaborators were brought before the king's court. Immaculata and her family arrived under royal escort. As the culprits were banished from the village in shame, Immaculata knelt before the prince, tears streaming down her face. "I am sorry, my husband," she whispered. "I could have been more careful." The prince embraced her, and they wept together. The king, filled with remorse, asked, "Now that we know the truth, what next?" The palace responded in unison, "The marriage must go on today." The village erupted in joy as the marriage of the century took place. Love had triumphed over malice, and the prince and Immaculata's union became a symbol of forgiveness and unity. The tale of Immaculata and the prince reminds us that love, truth, and forgiveness are the pillars of a harmonious society. Let this story inspire you to cherish love, seek truth, and embrace forgiveness in your own life.